Mr. President, welcome back to this stage, here in the beautiful Swiss Alps, and we have arranged for you the best sunshine which we can offer. We are pleased that you have chosen to join us again, this time for the opening session of the 50th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum in Davos. It is an honor to host you, Mr. President, on this very special occasion. And you have here in the room and in some overflow rooms, you have really the best of what the global business community can offer, in addition to over 300 representatives from governments. You return to Davos accompanied by a strong delegation of cabinet secretaries and senior officials is testimony to the fact that you recognize the need for America to maintain a prominent role on the global stage. In the past 3 years, the United States, by any metric, experienced a story of economic growth and dynamism. Stock market performance alone is one indication, as is the record low unemployment rate. Investors are showing deep confidence in the short and long-term potential of the US economy. Yet, Mr. President, with this good news, we all know there remain challenges ahead for the United States and for the rest of the world. We look forward to hearing your reflection as we gather here at this crucial time. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States.
Well, thank you very much, Klaus, and a very special congratulations on your 50th year hosting the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum, a truly amazing achievement. It's an honor to address the distinguished members of this organization for the second time as president. When I spoke at this forum 2 years ago, I told you that we had launched the Great American Comeback. Today, I'm proud to declare that the United States is in the midst of an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen before. We've regained our stride, rediscovered our spirit, and reawakened the powerful machinery of American enterprise. America is thriving, America is flourishing, and yes, America is winning again like never before. Just last week alone, the United States concluded 2 extraordinary trade deals, the agreement with China and the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement, the 2 biggest trade deals ever made. They just happened to get done in the same week. These agreements represent a new model of trade for the 21st century, agreements that are fair, reciprocal, and that prioritize the needs of workers and families. America's economic turnaround has been nothing short of spectacular. When I took office 3 years ago, America's economy was in a rather dismal state. Under the previous administration, nearly 200,000.
Using free speech to free minds. You're listening to The David Knight Show.
As the clock strikes 13, it's Tuesday, the 12th of March, year of our Lord, 2024. Today we're going to begin by taking a look at the aftermath of the drugs, the pharmaceuticals. And I know we've covered this a great deal, but there's new information coming out, as well as the Swamp King. We keep getting, almost on a daily basis, more indications that Trump is for sale. The king of the swamp. Who would have thunk it, right? We got the butler talking about it now. The butler did not do it. The butler talked about what was happening at the Trump's parties. But even Steve Bannon says he got bought off on TikTok. And Vivek has weighed in on TikTok as well. Very interesting. He's flip-flopped on that along with Trump. Because what we've got here, folks, the MAGA organization, the mob, is turning into a Jacobin mob. Instead of Robespierre, we got Donald Trump. We'll be right back. The technocrats sunk their claws into President Donald Trump, and he rolled over. This is from Patrick Wood at Technocracy News. And he says, and he's got a bullet point here. He's got 6 different items. He says, we got the executive order that Trump signed well before there was anybody dying, right? Claiming that it was a pandemic. And then it set the stage for mRNA and DNA injections. It turned over the design, manufacturing, and distribution to the military. It set up a huge private-public partnership with Big Pharma. And he said it set up a task force that was co-headed by the Secretary of Defense. Operation Warp Speed confirmed the design, the manufacturing, and the distribution by the military. And this was in September of 2019. We just keep getting all this stuff. September 2019, Trump signs this that does all of that. Sets the stage for the mRNA and DNA injections. And you got Fauci the next month at the Milken Institute saying, guy asked him, how do we get everybody in the world to take an untested vaccine? Well, we do it with disruption from the inside, and we do it iteratively. You've got Alex Azar from Eli Lilly, the biggest, the biggest lobbyist that Eli Lilly had, then becomes CEO, and then Trump puts him in as HHS secretary. And he's saying 9 months before this stuff rolled out, back in the spring of 2019, he tells this biodefense agency, I think there's going to be some kind of a pandemic coming from a respiratory virus, and it's going to be really soon. All the rest of this stuff. But, this executive order, this is in writing. This is not just somebody saying something at a convention there. And, of course, Donald Trump, at the same time that Alex Azar was saying that, Donald Trump was saying, not going to give anybody any exemptions for informed consent. Not medical exemptions, not religious exemptions. Measles, that's really going around. They got to get the shot, no exceptions.
Trying to dominate us through domestic puppets that they have bought and blackmailed into subservience and also stolen the election for. And, the DNI director, Jack Griffin National Intelligence, just told us the other day that China did interfere in the election. And Trump should have used that as his green light to finally do his duty and invoke the Insurrection Act. But he did nothing. He's left us holding the ball, did not do his duty, did not do what he had full power to do, what we've been urging him for months to do, and just left the power of the presidency in the hands of an illegitimate imposter. And I'm pretty upset about that.
As well as a lot of people are. The military, 25,000 troops from all 50 states, by the way. National Guard from all 50 states being sent to Washington, D.C. Puerto Rico, they were basically telling their troops that we're going to be facing the Proud Boys and insurrectionists and the enemy of the state, quote, unquote.
So how come Trump couldn't do that when they were trying to burn down the St. John's Cathedral right outside the White House? Why didn't Trump nationalize the Federal Guard or the National Guard, federalize the National Guard and bring them into D.C. to suppress the insurrection then? Why not?
Well, they got upset over tear gas. The treatment of the Black Lives.
He's still the commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
Who runs the country? Who is the commander-in-chief? Who's the president? Was it CNN or was it the president of the United States? So he should have just manned up and did it. I don't want to hear any excuses for him. I'm done. Seriously. He failed. I accuse him of dereliction of duty and cowardice in the face of the enemy. He was the commander-in-chief. He did not suppress an open rebellion against this country. He let it go on until they took over the government. That's where we're at. Now you got an imposter. I call Biden the imposter-in-chief.
I want every American to be prepared for the hard days that lie ahead. We're going to go through a very tough 2 weeks. And then hopefully, as the experts are predicting, as I think a lot of us are predicting after having studied it so hard, you're going to start seeing some real light at the end of the tunnel. But this is going to be a very painful, very, very painful 2 weeks. When you look and see at night the kind of death that's been caused by this